Before you watch this video the same way you watch every other video, I need to tell you something important. You are not here to simply learn about spirituality. You are here to experience it. You are here to feel how spirituality becomes practical, how alignment becomes movement, how intention becomes a decision that changes your body, your mindset, and your day. So take a slow breath. You are not here to look for answers outside yourself. You are here to look for strength inside yourself. Let's begin with a question most people never ask. Have you noticed how many people pray the same way they complain to a customer support line? They ask, they wait, they complain, they get frustrated, and when nothing comes, they assume someone failed on the other side. They think the universe misdelivered their request or forgot to reply to a ticket. Many treat prayer as if they were calling a spiritual help desk. If the answer delays, they assume the system is overloaded. If life doesn't change fast enough, they assume there was a glitch in the cosmic server. It's almost comical, but it is exactly how millions approach the most powerful tool they have. Prayer is not a request form, and manifestation is not a delivery service. Here is the truth that liberates anyone who is ready to grow. Praying without acting is a way to avoid responsibility. It is a way to say, I want the result, but I don't want to move. It is asking for change without being willing to change. People pray for strength, but avoid the situations where strength is built. They pray for clarity, but refuse to make decisions. They pray for patience, but won't stop living in hurry and anxiety. They pray for abundance, but continue to sabotage their financial behavior every day. It is not lack of faith. It is faith used as a shield against action. Deep down, many are not actually praying for transformation. They are praying for escape. Prayer without movement becomes a spiritual disguise for not taking responsibility. Action without prayer becomes empty effort with no alignment. One prepares the ground, the other plants the seed. A seed cannot grow without soil. Soil produces nothing without a seed. Prayer without action does not create new reality. Action without prayer does not create coherence. Both are required for transformation. Prayer is not asking the universe to act instead of you. Prayer is preparing yourself to act as someone aligned. Prayer adjusts your intention. Action expresses your identity. Imagine someone saying, I believe I can learn to swim. They read about swimming, watch videos about swimming, talk about water, journal about courage, but never enter the pool. 10 years pass. Do you honestly think that person learned to swim? Then why do you believe your life can change without stepping into the waters of your own decisions? Spirituality does not grow inside the mind alone. It grows when the body moves with intention. In this video, you will practice something most people never practice. You will learn to pray without avoiding yourself. You will learn to act without rushing or forcing. You will learn how alignment becomes movement, how intention becomes posture, and how spiritual intelligence becomes practical behavior. You will not pray to avoid responsibility. You will pray to empower responsibility. You will not pray to see if it works. You will pray to become someone who works with purpose. Prayer is not magic. Action is not force. Together, they are coherence. So before we move to the next block, make one decision. Do not watch this as a collector of ideas. Watch as someone who will act afterwards. Because in this space, spirituality without practice is not allowed. And faith without posture is only another story we tell ourselves to avoid change. If you are ready, breathe in slowly. And let's go to the next part.
Let's begin with something uncomfortable but deeply transformative. Most people do not pray from alignment. They pray from urgency. They do not speak from clarity. They speak from fear. They do not ask from a coherent state. They ask from a desperate state. And urgency is one of the biggest reasons prayer fails to create change. Think for a moment. When does a person pray the most intensely? Not when they are centered. Not when they are grateful. Not when they are calm. They pray hardest when they are scared, when they feel lost, when they feel they are running out of time, money, hope, or strength. Urgency feels powerful, but spiritually, urgency disconnects. Urgency tells the universe, I do not have, I am not enough, and I need something outside to fix me. And the universe does not respond to your requests. It responds to your state. You cannot ask for abundance from the vibration of scarcity. You cannot ask for peace from the vibration of panic. You cannot ask for opportunity from the vibration of desperation. Prayer does not amplify what you ask. It amplifies the state you are in when you ask. This is why so many people say, "I prayed and nothing happened." Something did happen. Their state was reinforced. Their internal frequency became stronger. If they prayed out of fear, fear increased. If they prayed out of scarcity, scarcity deepened. If they prayed out of hopelessness, hopelessness gained roots. Prayer does not obey words. It obeys identity. Think about this. If someone prays for strength while acting like a victim, they are reinforcing victimhood. If someone prays for clarity while refusing to choose, they are reinforcing indecision. If someone prays for abundance while living with habits of scarcity, they are reinforcing lack. The universe responds to who you are when you pray, not what you say when you pray. This is why prayer without alignment can become a trap. It convinces you that you are doing your part, when in truth you are emotionally paralyzed, spiritually waiting, vibrationally begging for rescue. Faith is not begging. Faith is posture. Faith is not asking for something to happen. Faith is acting as if you are already aligned with what you asked for. And that leads us to something extremely important. If prayer is meant to shift your state, then prayer must begin before you ask. Prayer must start by regulating your intention, your breath, your attention, your inner frequency, so that what you ask does not come from fear. The body must calm before the words come out. The heart must align before the mind forms sentences. The state must rise before the request is spoken. Prayer is not a demand. Prayer is a preparation. So today, we practice what most people in the world never practice. This is the first real exercise of state alignment. Before asking anything, do this. Close your eyes. Take one slow breath in and exhale longer than you inhale. Let your spine rest naturally. Relax your shoulders. Allow the muscles of your face to soften. Stay silent for a moment, without asking for anything. Only after the body calms, ask yourself quietly, from what state am I about to pray? Do not answer with words. Feel it. If you feel urgency, wait. If you feel fear, breathe again. If you feel tightness, pause. Allow your state to shift first. Only pray from neutrality, never from panic. This is how prayer stops being a request and becomes alignment. Before we continue, there is something you must understand clearly. This practice alone can change your relationship with spirituality forever. If you truly begin praying from neutrality instead of urgency, your decisions will change, your timing will change, your intuition will become sharper, and your life will respond differently. If this message is opening something inside you, do not just absorb it. Anchor it. Leave a comment saying, "I choose to pray from alignment, not urgency." Speak it out. Declare it. Let your identity respond. When you are ready, breathe slowly. And come with me to the next step. Your life is not waiting for answers. It is waiting for alignment.
If prayer is more than words, then what is it exactly? To understand this, we need to step away from religion, step away from emotion, and step into something deeper, something measurable, something that human beings experience even without faith, the language of internal state. Science has proven something extraordinary. Your body sends signals long before your mind forms thoughts. Before you make a decision, your nervous system has already reacted. Before you speak, your breath has already shifted. Before you pray, your chemical state has already determined how your brain will interpret your reality. In other words, the body speaks first. The mind translates after. Think about it. If your heart is racing, if your muscles are tight, if your breath is shallow, your mind interprets the world through stress. And if your mind interprets the world through stress, you pray through stress. You do not ask from clarity. You ask from resistance. Prayer from resistance is not prayer. It is spiritual panic. Prayer from clarity is not hoping something will work. It is walking in the direction of what will work. And here is where quantum understanding begins to explain spirituality without metaphor. Your internal state collapses potential outcomes. Before you act, before you choose, before you ask, your body and your identity generate a pattern that filters what is possible. Your inner state is not a reaction. It is the filter that determines what reality you can actually perceive and choose. When a person prays for abundance but carries emotional patterns of fear, the brain is neurologically programmed to recognize scarcity faster than opportunity. They literally cannot see abundance, even if it is near. Their nervous system actively blocks the ability to notice solutions, collaborate, communicate, create, or take healthy risks. So the question is not, does prayer work? The question is, can your nervous system handle what you're asking for? If you pray for love but cannot emotionally receive affection without distrust, the body rejects intimacy as a threat. If you pray for success but your identity is wired with avoidance and procrastination, opportunities feel overwhelming instead of exciting. If you pray for prosperity but your habits reinforce insecurity, your subconscious treats abundance as instability, not blessing. The body rejects what it is not prepared to receive. This is why alignment is not mystical. Alignment is physical. Your breathing patterns, your posture, your emotional baseline. All of these determine whether your brain interprets your request as something safe or something threatening. The universe is not withholding anything from you. Your nervous system is. Now, here comes the beautiful truth. When your body calms, your mind expands. When your breath deepens, your intuition becomes sharper. When your nervous system stops preparing for danger, it finally starts preparing for life. Prayer becomes real when the body agrees. You are not asking for miracles. You are asking your identity to stop blocking what already exists. And now you see why urgency ruins prayer. Urgency tells the body to fight, not receive. Urgency prepares you for survival, not manifestation. That is why you must calm the state before asking. You must align the body before speaking. You must breathe before reaching for anything. Now, I invite you to do this new exercise, the quantum breath of permission. This exercise is not to calm the mind. It is to show your nervous system that receiving is safe. Sit or stand comfortably. Place one hand lightly on your chest. Do not try to breathe deeply. Just inhale slowly and exhale even slower. Repeat, but with a subtle intention. On each exhale, silently say to your body, "It is safe to receive." Do not force relaxation. Do not try to believe anything. Just breathe and let the body prepare for what you will eventually ask for. Repeat this at least 3 breaths. If the body loosens even slightly, the prayer has already begun. You did not calm your body. You granted it permission. You may not realize this yet, but each time you take responsibility for your inner state, you influence far more than your own life. When your nervous system learns to receive, you contribute to an energetic shift that encourages others to receive as well. Your alignment becomes a silent permission for someone else to expand. This is how transformation spreads, not through speeches or debate, but through embodiment. So thank you for meeting yourself with honesty today. Thank you for practicing, not just listening. This is how real change begins, one regulated breath at a time, one aligned choice at a time, and one human being influencing the field simply by evolving. If this reached you, if your body felt something shift even slightly, return here and write in the comments, "My body is learning to receive." Because today, you are not just learning how prayer works. You are rewiring the system that decides what you can experience. When you're ready, breathe once more, and we move to the next step, not for more information, but for deeper transformation. There is a common belief that makes people feel spiritual, hopeful, and connected, yet blocks every manifestation they pursue. The belief sounds noble, comforting, and humble, but in reality, it is deeply paralyzing. It is the idea that if I just trust and wait, life will bring what I need. The problem is not the trust. The problem is the waiting. Waiting, when it comes from avoidance, is not faith. It is procrastination dressed up as spirituality. Faith is not the act of stepping back and hoping for something to happen. Faith is the choice to step forward as if something already has. Think of how many lives go in circles because of this idea. People pray to be guided, but never take the first step. They hope for clarity, but avoid the basic decisions that would actually create clarity. They wait for abundance, while repeating the same draining habits that keep their financial reality unstable. They ask for signs, yet ignore the actions that would reveal those signs in motion. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Clarity is not given. Clarity is created through commitment. You cannot ask the universe to send you direction if you are not willing to choose a direction to begin with. You cannot ask the universe to bring you confidence if you are not willing to behave like someone who deserves results. You cannot ask for abundance if you are unwilling to change how you treat the money you already have. Nothing in nature receives before moving. A seed does not wait for proof before pushing through the soil. A day does not begin because the sun waits for permission. Life does not move toward what is still. It moves toward what is willing to move. And this brings us to the heart of today's shift. If prayer is intention, then action is consent. When you act, you are telling the universe, I consent to receiving what I asked for. Without consent, receiving is invasive. That is why nothing comes. So now, we move into the practical part. But before we do, a quick message for you. A real human watching this, not a viewer, not a subscriber, but someone who is actually trying to evolve. If you are not in a place where you can pause, write, or perform a physical exercise, that does not mean you cannot participate. If you are driving, listen and mentally engage. If you are at the gym, breathe with the instruction. If you are at work, absorb the awareness and return later to practice. Transformation does not wait for perfect conditions. You take a piece of it now, and you return for the rest. When we begin the exercise, you can either perform it with your body or imprint it in your mind. The nervous system does not care whether the first rehearsal is physical or mental. What matters is that you participate. Before we begin, I invite you to get ready in one of two ways. If you are free with your hands and attention, take a moment to sit or stand with presence, not slouched, not distracted. Show your body that this matters. If you are busy or moving, simply acknowledge that you will come back later to complete the physical part. And for now, you will train the decision-making part of the mind. Because prayer is intention, action is consent, and today we will practice consent. Now take a breath, just one, in through your nose, long out through your mouth. Not dramatic, not exaggerated, natural, honest, grounded. From this breath forward, you are not listening to spiritual theory. You are rehearsing what alignment feels like. When you're ready, we step into the exercise, not to try it, but to shape who you become while doing it. Continue to the next step when you are ready to participate. Not busy, not perfect, just willing. We are about to do something rare in spiritual content. Not visualize, not manifest by wishing, and not repeat affirmations without alignment. We are going to train the nervous system to act as someone who already believes, instead of someone who is still asking. Before you begin, repeat the understanding that guides this exercise. Prayer prepares. Action declares. Prayer sets intention. Action communicates consent. Without consent, even what belongs to you stays at the door. This exercise is called the consent of action. It is not about effort or working harder. It is about shifting the place inside you where your movement comes from. Because moving out of fear is resistance, but moving out of alignment is coherence. Here is what you will do. Whether you are sitting, standing, walking, driving, or listening in motion, follow the instructions in a way that your context allows. Part 1. The Declaration of Presence. For the next few seconds, bring awareness to your posture. If you are seated, lengthen the spine, open the chest softly, as if you are not hiding from life. If you are driving or standing, simply align the body like someone who is available, not collapsed, not waiting. Your posture is not decoration. Your posture tells the universe how you live inside yourself. Now, take a single breath again. No exaggeration. Just one honest breath that says, I am here. Part 2. The honest question. With your eyes open or closed, ask internally, what is one action I have avoided that would move my life forward? Not 5 actions. Not goals for the next year. Just one. The one that you already know, the one that keeps following you, the one that would change something real if you finally engaged with it. Do not choose the biggest action. Do not choose a dramatic action. Choose a true one. The nervous system cannot align with force, but it can align with truth. Part 3. The micro-declaration. Now, you are going to give consent, not by finishing the action, but by beginning it. This is how manifestation works. You don't build the door. You knock. Depending on your context right now, choose one of the following. If you are free to act physically, take one micro step toward the thing you have avoided. Send the message. Schedule the appointment. Write the first sentence. Organize the one drawer. Search the information. Choose the number. Click the button you have postponed. One step, no more. If you are not free to act physically right now, mentally choose the micro action you will take within the next 24 hours and decide the exact moment. Not someday, not later, a specific time. Your mind must know when. Otherwise, it cannot align your biology to it. You are not taking the whole action today. You are consenting to the path that the action opens. It is not the size of the step that changes your life. It is the shift in who you are while stepping. Part 4, the anchor sentence. Now, either out loud or internally, you complete the alignment. Say, I choose movement that matches my intention. Again, prayer prepares. Action declares. One last time, slow and with ownership. My actions show what I believe. Do not repeat it like a mantra. Repeat it like a choice. Closure and integration. As simple as it seems, your nervous system just rehearsed a new identity. Not someone who hopes. Not someone who begs. Not someone who waits for life to happen. Someone who collaborates with life. And when you collaborate with life, life collaborates with you. This is not about rushing. This is not about forcing. This is not about controlling outcomes. This is about matching yourself to what you prayed for. If you do this exercise daily, your reality will not change because you demanded something from the universe. It will change because you became someone who is open to receive and responsible to act. Now take one last breath. Let the breath seal the promise you just made to your own evolution. You have consented. Now watch how life begins to respond. When you're ready, we move to the next level. Not to ask more from the universe, but to become someone who walks with it.
Before we continue, pause just for a moment and realize something important. What we are doing here is not motivation. It is not positivity. It is not mindset. This is spiritual identity work. And identity does not change because you want something. Identity changes because you begin to act from a new place inside yourself. Now that you have taken your first step of action, not forced, not desperate, but consented, we must go deeper. Because action without identity becomes exhaustion, but action with identity becomes manifestation. So let me ask you a question that most people never ask themselves, even while trying to transform their life. Who are you without scarcity? Not, who will you become one day? Not, who do you hope to be when things finally work out? Who are you when you stop living as if something is missing? Pause for a second and feel what this question does to your body. Some people feel expansion. Others feel fear. Some feel excitement. Others feel nothing, as if the question doesn't fit yet. That reaction is your nervous system revealing the identity you have been inhabiting. There are people who pray every day for prosperity, but walk with the posture of someone who expects disappointment. There are people who visualize abundance, but breathe like someone who is waiting to survive. There are people who speak about faith, but move like someone who doubts their own presence in life. You do not receive the future you desire. You receive the future that matches who you believe you are today. Most people want prosperity to arrive so they can finally feel safe. But energetically, prosperity only stabilizes when the person has already begun to feel safe enough to act. This is why so many manifestations collapse. People try to attract abundance while embodying an identity trained by lack. They ask with their words, but deny with their nervous system. They pray for expansion, but step like someone shrinking from life. So here is the real shift. You do not manifest what you want. You manifest what you are willing to become. This means that prosperity doesn't begin when money arrives. Prosperity begins the moment you stop negotiating your own value. When you stop apologizing for existing. When you stop living as if you must earn permission to evolve. When your action is no longer a request, but a declaration. From this moment on, your responsibility is not to chase results. Your responsibility is to stay loyal to who you are becoming. If scarcity tries to speak through old thoughts, old fears, or old habits, you answer not with pressure, not with panic, but with posture. I don't live from lack anymore. I act from alignment now. This sentence is not poetry. It is a boundary that protects your evolution from your old identity. Every time you practice prayer plus action, you are training your nervous system to believe something new about who you are. An identity is the doorway through which your life receives its shape. Feel that for a moment. Your life takes shape according to the identity you inhabit. Not the prayers you speak, not the affirmations you repeat, not the dreams you imagine, but the identity you embody every day through posture, decision, courage, boundaries, and movement. This is why your spiritual practice cannot remain abstract. Your identity has to be visible to your choices. Otherwise, your soul remains inspired, but your life remains unchanged. Before we go deeper into the final level of action plus prayer, I want to thank you. not out of politeness, but out of recognition. If you are here, it means you are not just consuming content. You are participating in a shift that ripples through human behavior. When one person evolves their identity, the field around them changes. And that field influences other lives, other behaviors, other futures. Your evolution is not private. It has impact. So if this message is moving you, if you feel something real shifting, if you recognize yourself becoming someone new, anchor this moment. Like this video as a gesture of agreement. Subscribe so this journey does not end here. And comment below. I act from alignment now, not as a phrase, but as a signature. When you are ready, we continue, not to hope for change, but to complete the shift we have already begun.
Now that your identity has begun to shift, it is time to anchor this change into your nervous system, your breath, and your field. This ritual is not symbolic. It is not metaphorical. It is training your body to stop acting from lack and to start acting from alignment. Before we begin, understand one truth. Your nervous system is the bridge between prayer and action. If you pray but your body still reacts as if life is unsafe, nothing stabilizes. If you act, but your breath is holding fear, your action becomes force. So today, we will train the bridge. Not to calm you, not to motivate you, but to prepare the body to carry the identity you are choosing. Prepare yourself. Sit upright if you can. Feel your feet, or whatever is supporting you. If you are driving or lifting weights or doing anything that requires alert attention, simply listen now and return later to practice physically. Ready? Let's begin. Deep anchoring ritual. Step 1, awareness of posture. Sit or stand with a straight, dignified spine. Not rigid, just present. Feel the weight of your body settling. Feel gravity holding you. This is the posture of action. Step 2, the restoring breath. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 2. Exhale through your mouth for 6. Let the exhale be longer than the inhale. The body reads a long exhale as safety. Repeat once more. Step 3, interrupting old identity. Place one hand on your chest and one on your stomach. Breathe normally now. Feel the rise and fall of your body, and quietly say within yourself, I no longer act from scarcity. You are not speaking to the universe right now. You are speaking to your nervous system. You are giving it new instructions. Step 4, command of alignment. Now say, slowly, with intention, I act from alignment now. Not begging, not hoping, commanding. Say it again, gently, I act from alignment now. Feel the difference between asking and commanding your own posture. Feel how your body listens. Feel how your breath cooperates. Step 5, embodied action visualization. With eyes open or closed, picture yourself doing one simple action today from alignment. Not a huge decision, not a life change. One action that expresses your new identity. Not what you should do, what you would do if you already trusted yourself. See it. Feel the subtle confidence. Not excitement, not urgency, just coherence. Now breathe and make an inner agreement. I take that action today, without pressure, without apology, without delay. This ritual is the spiritual version of lifting weights. It builds muscle memory in your field. It teaches your breath to support abundance, instead of reacting to fear. It trains your body to carry prayer into movement. You can do this every day, anywhere, before work, before a conversation, before sharing your talent, before making money decisions, before saying yes or no to an opportunity. If you repeat it consistently, it will not calm you. It will change who you are while you act. Action plus prayer becomes a state, not a technique. Before we continue to the final collapse, the moment where prayer becomes direction and action becomes transmission, I invite you to anchor this journey not only in breath, but in community. Like this video if this ritual reached you. Subscribe if you want to practice transformation, not just talk about it. And comment below so your identity answers for you. I take aligned action today. Your comment is not feedback. It is your signature. When you're ready, we step into the final level. Not to learn, but to transmit.
You practice something rare today. Not a prayer to avoid what life asks of you. Not an action fueled by fear, but the sacred fusion of both. So now we seal, not with words, but with a state. First of all, sit in a position that feels grounded. Not rigid, not slumped. Grounded, as if your body knows it has something to create. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your lower belly. This is not symbolic. It is neurological. This brings your system to coherence. Inhale through your nose slowly, a long inhalation that reaches your lower hand. Hold gently, and exhale through your mouth. We will do this 3 times, not for relaxation, but for responsibility, because your breath is the bridge between intention and movement. Now, silently ask your body the question that matters most today. What part of me is ready to act with coherence? Do not look for words. Feel the response, a sensation, a direction, a place within you that feels less scared and more available. Let's repeat a phrase, not as affirmation, not as manifestation, but as identity. Say inwardly with presence, I move as someone who is already aligned. Breathe. Again, slowly. I move as someone who is already aligned. Now comes the part that most people skip. Prayer prepares your internal field. Action expresses it. So choose a real movement for the next 24 hours. Not a miracle, not a leap. Something simple that demonstrates alignment. A message you need to send. A boundary you need to express. A task you have been postponing. A step that corresponds to who you have just become. Let your body feel. Let the decision settle, even if you haven't taken the step yet. The action has already begun in your nervous system. Whisper inward. I act from who I am becoming. One more time, from the body, not the mind. I act from who I am becoming. If this journey has reached you, then this channel is not entertainment. It is training. And as you move, you influence the field around you. Your grounded choices make it easier for others to choose differently too. So we anchor this state, not just with breath, but with commitment. If today resonated with you, seal this transformation with action now. Press like, not as support for a channel, but as a physical action that says, I choose to move. Subscribe, not to watch more, but to continue this training with those who practice, not escape. And leave a comment below, writing, I act from who I am becoming. Your comment is not interaction. It is a statement in the field. Thank you for walking this path with integrity, step by step. The next video is no longer content. It is the next layer of who you are choosing to become. We move differently from here. See you in the next practice.